I'm a litigator, which means I go to court, which means I'm constantly arguing between two sides, one of whom says something happened, the other one says doesn't. And there are people you think you know, people you think you can trust, you think they have your back, and then you have a work injury, and you're about to enter a whole different world where there are daggers in those smiles. Hi everyone, this is Britt Morrell with the Colorado law firm Kaplan Morrell. We've been helping injured and disabled workers and their families get the benefits they deserve for work injuries since 1997. And if this video helps you, would you please hit like, would you subscribe or comment below? Do all three. I'd love for you to be part of our online community. Hi, in this video I'm going to discuss one of the biggest frustrations I think injured workers have when they're dealing with litigation in a workers' compensation case, and that is basically everyone lies. I help people get benefits they deserve when they've been injured on the job, and often I have to prove something happened or something was said or that the employer heard my client say something. Maybe my client never said it, and too often it gets to be a he said, she said fight. For example, I'll ask clients, did you tell your employer you were injured at work? And my client will say, oh, they know, I told them. They wouldn't be able to say no. And that's when usually this question comes in, okay? Because I usually say, let's pretend your employer lies and says you never did say that. You never did report a work injury. And that's when I ask this question, which is usually my client's first sign they've entered into a very untrusting world. Let's say your employer denies that you ever reported your injury. Let's say your employer says you just stopped showing up to work without explanation. How would I prove they were not telling the truth, other than having you testify that you did do those things, you did say those things? And the answers I get are almost always the same. They'll go, oh no, everyone knows. My coworkers were there, my coworkers were no. And I'll tell them, you think your coworkers are going to testify against their boss, their paycheck, when it comes down to a disgruntled, unhappy, unethical employer who will lie and say, nope, they never reported a work injury, and now you're going to ask a coworker who's still there, who still needs that job, for them to come to court and say, yes, you did? Color me a little jaded, but often I find coworkers aren't to help, that they are, okay? They're just not. And so that's why I tell people, when you've been injured on the job, just assume and just go about the day thinking everyone will lie about what I said or what I did, or that they'll say I didn't do something I did, or they'll say I did something I didn't, etc. And so put it in writing. Think about how easy that is nowadays compared to 20 years ago, when we didn't have texting as much as we do now, or emails as much as we do now. Just do an email. Hey, John, I'm just following up on whether or not you've got a doctor for me to see for my injury when I threw out my back lifting those boxes. That will prove that you reported it. Or, hey John, just wanting to know if you can accommodate my restrictions, went to the doctor because of throwing out my back at work lifting those boxes. Doctor says that I can go back to work, but I can't lift more than 10 pounds. Do you have work? Just put everything in emails and in texts. Just say, hey, I just want to make sure that I am correctly understanding what I'm supposed to do because of this work injury, blah, blah, blah. If you put it in a text, if you put it in an email, your employer or someone else is not going to be able to lie about what was said. Another great way to prove something happened is take photos. Take photos of something. No, we never told him he had to lift more than 40 pounds. Here are the boxes. Here are the boxes that I had to, I'm taking pictures of them. I can pull, and I have in court, metadata from photos to show where they were taken, when they were taken, to be able to prove that the photos are of the workspace of that employer at that time. So photos are great. Movies are great. Take videos. You can even record conversations. What the law in Colorado is, as long as one person in the conversation agrees to that conversation, it can be recorded without disclosing it to everybody else. In other words, if you're talking, you can record it because you're a part of that conversation. Record the conversation, but you've got to be specific in the conversation. It's not good enough to say, hey, my back hurts. You've got to say, hey, my back hurts because I was lifting those boxes at work yesterday, etc. So just start thinking that all of those nice people will deny that it happened or that it was said or that they heard you say it. Just email or text or put in photos those things so that you can prove that what happened actually happened. If you or a member of your family need help with a work injury, please get in touch with us. We help our clients on a contingent fee basis, which means that we don't charge a fee unless we're successful getting our clients what they deserve. Call us, text us, go to our website. Our consultations are free and confidential, and will give you peace of mind when you know your rights. And with that, thank you for spending part of your day with me.